Here we go.
This is Straight No Chaser Talk Radio. We're just getting started. Straight No Chaser Talk Radio.
He's drinking that with no chaser.
This is Straight No Chaser Talk Radio. We're just getting started. Straight No Chaser Talk Radio.
He's drinking that with no chaser.
This is Straight No Chaser Talk Radio. We're just getting started. Straight No Chaser Talk Radio.
He's drinking that with no chaser.
Welcome to Straight No Chaser, where we never dilute the issues, we only serve the hard stuff. It's the Chief, and I'm here with Thin Bad.
Hey,
How you doing, Thin Bad?
I'm doing good. Surviving another week.
All right, all right, and that's right. We survived another week, and of course, the internationally known Shannon. How are you, Shannon?
I'm doing well. How everybody doing tonight?
Very good, very good, very good. Well, tonight it's time to get serious again. And last week we had kind of a lighthearted show, but this week we're going to do what we normally do, and that's to kind of talk about the issues that are impacting our communities across the country. And of course, you know, we've experienced all sorts of turmoil lately. 45 has contracted COVID. The election process is all over the place. Of course, we're still dealing with the repercussions of Breonna Taylor, George Floyd. We looked at the incarcerated statistics for black males. And of course, the list goes on and on and on and on. And at the end of the day, the people want to be reassured that the justice system works efficiently, it works equitably, and when appropriately, it works with a degree of empathy. So tonight, to help us sort it out, we have two very esteemed guests, and we're so happy to have both of them on the show. And we're just so proud of both of them, and we're always inspired by both of them when we hear the things that they're doing. And of course, they're no stranger to the Straight No Chaser family. We have with us this evening, we have Miss Aisha Braveboy, who is the distinguished and the honorable State's Attorney of Prince George's County, Maryland. And of course, we have community activist Phil Lee. And welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
Good to be here.
Yes, indeed. And of course, it's an absolute pleasure to have both of you here with us this evening. And before we go, we want the audience to understand the expertise that you all are going to hear from tonight. And I'm going to start with Madam State's Attorney. First and foremost, she is a resident of the community of over 900,000 people that she serves proudly every day in Prince George's County, Maryland. And also Prince George's has the incredible reputation of being one of the wealthiest and most affluential African-American communities in the nation, which means that translates to in the world. So you are absolutely in for a treat this evening. But let me tell you a little bit about Madam State's Attorney. And you're going to love this. Her motto is crime is crime. And I want to make sure that you all understand this motto, because I just thought this was just really incredible. She says that crime is personal to the victim, it's personal to the community, and it's personal to the state's attorney's office. So you understand that every day when Madam State's Attorney walks into the office, she's taking this stuff personal, and it's in their motto. So make no mistake about it. Also, during the pandemic, she started an initiative called Operation Safe Release, which was designed to safely reduce the inmate population to prevent the further spread of the health crisis in her community. She also led the effort to establish the Second Lieutenant Collins III law, which is the fully punished hate crime participants, which is something that is long overdue in communities across the country. She also established the Public Integrity Unit, which looks at police misconduct, use of force, and corruption. And she works closely with a host of community-based groups, including the Community Public Awareness Council, or CPAC, of which Mr. Lee is one of the strong advocates of, that deals with diversionary programs. And we're going to talk a little bit about that later. And lastly, we can't overlook the magic of the HBCU. And she is a proud graduate of Howard University, HU, Law School. And most importantly, and I can't leave without saying, and she is also a proud member of the incredible Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. So I had to make sure that I covered that as well. And then, of course, let me talk about our second guest, and he is certainly no stranger to our show, Mr. Phil Lee. And when I talk about community activists, if I had to literally put community activists in the dictionary, I'd just put Phil's picture there and we wouldn't even put any words there. Phil has been doing this for decades. Not only is he a staunch advocate for the community, Phil puts his heart where his money is. He has been the president of the Kettering Civic Federation. For those of you who are not familiar with Prince George's County, that is a community in Prince George's County, which is just east of the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. And as president of the Kettering Civic Foundation, he was really a staunch advocate and partner with the community and the police department for crime reduction and improving the overall quality of life in his community. And he's also been a driving force for the Community Public Awareness Council, or CPAC as it is known throughout the DMV, or that's the District, Maryland, and Virginia area, which is a model, and we're going to talk about this, a model diversionary program to keep young people out of the criminal justice system. And to date, ladies and gentlemen, they have diverted over 4,000, understand, 4,000 young people over the years from being involved in the criminal justice system. So with that being said, we have raised the bar this evening, and we certainly welcome both of our guests. And Mr. Lee and Madam State's Attorney, I'm gonna start it off with a question for Madam State's Attorney, and then we're going to get right into it. But Madam State's Attorney, with all the things that you have done in your tenure, and I didn't even scratch the surface of the things that you've done. Can you kind of tell us just very briefly some of the innovative things that your office is doing since you appeared on our show last that have really enhanced your vision for keeping the community of Prince George's County safe as the top law enforcement officer in that jurisdiction?
Well, absolutely. Well, let me just say thank you so much, Mike Blow. I don't know what to say about how phenomenal you were in serving our community as well. And you were the commander of the district in which I live. You were deputy chief, and just an honorable officer. Thank you. And we are grateful for your service. So since last I appeared on your show, one of the big things we've done, which we actually just announced today, was a new strangulation protocol for Prince George's County. Nice. It really will change the way in which first responders respond to victims in incidents where there's strangulation involved, because it's often very important for victims of strangulation to get medical care quickly. And so ensuring that our 911 operators are asking the appropriate questions to our victims, ensuring that the first responders that come to the scene, whether it's the sheriff's department or the police department, are also asking questions like, were you strangled? Were you choked? And if so, we ensure that they get straight to the hospital. And our hospital, Prince George's Hospital, has a new forensic machine that can actually take pictures internally inside a person's throat to determine whether or not they can see pooling of blood, inflammation, or other signs of asphyxiation or strangling. So we are very excited about being able to implement this new protocol, because when we go to court to try these cases, we need evidence with us. We also led the effort to make strangulation a first-degree felony offense in the state of Maryland, which we were able to accomplish earlier this year. That law went into effect October 1 of this year. And so that new protocol has been implemented, and it is actually working. We've seen some results of that already. So we're really excited about that. We made that announcement today. In addition to that, we're working on a really exciting new program. Now, you know about our juvenile diversion efforts, and we've worked with CPAC on that a lot. But now we're entering into this new phase of us looking at what we call emerging adults, those who are aged 18 through 26 in our communities that really are committing a significant amount of the offenses in our county. But because of their age, they really are a group that can be rehabilitated, can change their behavior if they're given the appropriate interventions. And so we're going to do that work. We're going to do that hard work. We've asked CPAC to expand the criteria for entering into their program so that they can take older defendants into the CPAC program. So we're excited about their willingness to do that. But what we see is young people, very young, 18, 19, 20, committing offenses where they're exposed to 20, 30, 40, 50 years behind bars because often they're using guns to commit offenses, and they have prior criminal history. So what we want to do is work with them really when they commit their less serious offenses so that we can prevent them from committing the more serious offenses. And so we're really excited about that. We really think that will change their lives. It'll make our community safer, and it will reduce the prison population. So that's another new initiative that we're still developing, but we're going to implement aspects of that as we move forward with our prosecutions in our office. And then we're also in the process, hopefully maybe just about a month or so away of rolling out our homeless diversion program, because what we see are a lot of homeless individuals who are arrested over and over again for things like trespassing or fourth-degree burglaries, which is breaking into an unoccupied space. And so we know that those individuals, while yes, they're committing offenses, and we want to make sure that the victims in those offenses, the business owners primarily, are not impacted by the behavior, we also know that locking them up is just not also the answer. So we're really excited about the homeless diversion program that we're implementing. So those are a few things. There's a lot of stuff going on, but those are the three things I'll mention now.
Sure.
That is quite a bit.
That's a lot. That's a lot. I really like the idea of the homeless program, though. That's a lot, though.
Yeah, but it's important work because, again, these are people who, a lot of them have drug addictions, some have mental health issues, and quite frankly, the justice system really won't care for them in the way that they need.
That's right. So that's good that you have all that covered. How is all that being received? I mean, by the community? Is the community, full on behind? And
yeah, I mean, I think what the community wants, they want solutions. I think the community wants to be safe. They don't want to have crime. They don't want to be impacted by even the quality of life offenses. However, we have a compassionate community, an understanding community, and to the extent that we can say, look, we hear you. We don't want to tolerate crime in your communities, but we think that there's a better way to address people than simply locking them up. Because if you think about it, on a trespass, it is it's very unlikely that that individual will receive any jail time, okay? Or if they do, it'll be very, very minimal. So they're going to be back out on the street. So it's much better for the community and for the system if we're able to connect them with the appropriate resources so that they can be taken care of. And so instead of them having a conviction on their record, which may prevent them from getting a job or getting a housing or other services that they need, directing them to those services, assisting them with job training, connecting them with health resources, that's the most appropriate response, because criminal justice or the justice system can't only be about punishment and